It's the literal ultimate wash and go. Ultimate hair freedom. I feel like I probably have something on my face from doing all that. What is up, Flockers? That is my fellow Lockers and aspiring Lockers. Have you been sitting around wondering if you should start a lock journey? Wondering if a lock journey would be right for you, and trying to weigh the pros and cons of getting locks and how they'll look on you, whether they'll look great or whether it'll look like a complete flop? Well, stick around because I am going to give you my top reasons for why you should go ahead and start that lock journey and join the lock community. The first reason on my list for why you should go ahead and get locks is if you are tired of doing your loose natural hair. Loose natural hair is beautiful. Our hair in all forms is beautiful. It is versatile and it is amazing the things that we can accomplish with our hair, but not everybody is cut out for a loose natural journey. Everybody may try, but a lot of people may fail. It takes endurance and perseverance, just like a lock journey, but it is a whole different set of things. Some people are here for that detangling life and, may find joy and peace and some serenity and kind of a therapeutic process for their wash days. I've heard people that, wash days are a therapeutic thing for them. And so they enjoy the hours that it may take for them to deep condition, detangle, pre-poo, not in those orders, of course, but to do their loose natural hair and then put it in some type of protective style so that they can wear it for the week or for a couple of weeks before they wash it again. I personally thought that I could make it through a loose natural journey, and it did not last me for more than, I don't even think I lasted a year. It was tough. I wanted to last, but I have very thick, very coarse 4C hair, and I just am not about that life. The amount of time that I would spend doing my hair when it came to wash days or when it came to just trying to style it, detangling, it was too much for me. So to each their own, but having locks is definitely a way to avoid having to go through a lot of the pains that you go through when you're a loose natural and having to do your hair and manage your loose natural hair. The second reason on my list of why you should go ahead and get locks is because your hair is always done. Now you can't tell, look at this. All I did this morning when I woke up was to spray a little bit of water in my hair. Boom, I got a bottle for you. Continuous spray bottle. Spray a little bit of water in my hair. Literally shake it out. Go like this to make sure I don't have any locks trying to do me wrong and make me look silly on camera. And boom, I'm done. And I know y'all are like, okay, but you were already looking decent. So I promise you, when I wake up in the morning after I take my bonnet off, the only difference is that because I have a bonnet that goes around like this, so I put my locks in there like that. So when I wake up in the morning, they are a little matted in the sense that they are like this. And so I promise you, when I wake up, they might be back like this a little bit. I literally take them like this, spray a little water, do a little shake, a little pat down, and I'm done. Now, right now, I do have a fresh retwist. We're not gonna get too close because your boy has dermatitis issues, but I do have a fresh retwist. But even when I don't have a fresh retwist, y'all, my hair is, what? Y'all, look at this, get into it. But even when I don't have a fresh retwist, my hair always looks done. Even when I have an inch of new growth that I need to retighten, my hair still looks good. There is some severe hair freedom when people talk about their locks and talking about never having a bad hair day, talking about waking up and ready to go. Ultimate hair freedom, being able to wake up, to shake and go, you're just ready. Locks popping when you wake up in the morning and you barely have to do anything. You're not having to detangle. You're not having to add products. If you want to add products to your hair, you're more than welcome to, but you don't have to. You can do the bare minimum or you could do the maximum. It's up to you. The third reason on my list for why you should go ahead and lock your hair is that locks are the ultimate wash and go. And especially with Microlocs, there is a difference in the time it takes for your hair to dry when you have thicker traditional locks and with Microlocs. And I've discussed that in other videos, but even still, even with thicker traditional locks, your hair is, like I just said in the last point, it's easier. You're not having to detangle. Things are already in its place. And so when you go into wash, you're not having to section your hair to make sure that it's not matting together and tangling together. You can literally get out of the shower, pat dry it with a towel or with a t-shirt or whatever you choose to use, a microfiber towel, and you can go. I mean, unless it's a maintenance day where you're trying to wash and then do your retwist or your retightening, it's the literal ultimate wash and go. You wash your hair and you can go. It's not wash your hair and then go to your cubby to get your styling gel, your leave-in conditioner, and all the other things that you have to put in your hair to make it look defined. Your hair is ready to go. It's a wash and go. So it's the ultimate wash and go. Wash your hair and go. The fourth reason on my list of why you should go ahead and lock your hair up is that you have length retention a lot easier than when you are loose natural. There are some people who are loose natural that have no issues with length retention, and their loose natural journey may be a simple thing for them. They're not having tons of single strand knots. They're not having a lot of breakage and things of that nature. I had a ton of single strand knots. I had breakage. When I would comb my hair, I would have, it's hard for a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of you out there can relate, that length retention in our community is a very difficult thing. And so when you're in the loc community, I know a lot of people will say that their hair is longer than it has ever been in their lives, or longer than they could have ever dreamt their hair of getting. And part of that is an illusion in a sense, because your hair, the majority of your hair, when it falls out, it has nowhere to go because it's in these locks. And so as your hair grows down, that hair stays in the locks, and so your hair grows out, but it's just, so there is some sense of illusion to it, because normally when you're combing your hair and whatnot, you shed hair and that hair is gone. But because you're not shedding the majority of your hair, the majority of it, there are some hairs that will shed and that will not stay in the lock, but probably 99% of your shed hair stay within that lock. And so as your hair grows down, even when your hair is shedding, it stays in that lock, as opposed to when you are loose natural. When your hair sheds or breaks off, it's just gone, it's done, and it's no longer a part of your loose natural journey. Now with locks, it remains a part of your journey as long as you choose for it to be, until you decide to cut or trim your hair or comb it out or whatever. So with locks, you are able to achieve potentially longer length hair than you might have been with as a loose natural. And because you're not continuously manipulating and combing or brushing your hair as you would do when you're a loose natural, or finger combing your hair, you're not breaking your hair off as much as you might when you're a loose natural. And so it is easier on most people's hair when you have locks for your hair to grow longer, and you just have this length retention that you may never have experienced before as a loose natural, which is pretty awesome. And I'll even give y'all a bonus one, and some people are probably gonna say, oh, this is so taboo. But the fifth reason, which I wasn't even gonna talk about, but we'll go ahead and put it out there anyways, for why you should lock your hair up, is because you join a loc community. Every type of hair has a community. There's loose natural community, and we're not talking about the toxic part of the loose natural community or the toxic part of the loc community, because that is a given with any community. There is going to be negative energy, negative people within it, people with negative comments and things to say and biases. But we're specifically talking about joining the community as a whole, and even the positivity within the community. Now, anyone who has locked or ever been on a loc journey can definitely drop down in the comments and let me know if you can agree with what I'm about to say. But when you see someone else with locks, whether you have Microlocs and they have traditional locks or vice versa, or you see someone with freeform or semi-freeform, Braidlocs, two-strand twist locks, like whatever it is, sister locks, brother locks, there's just in general a common bond that you have with that person, whether you even speak to that person or not, whether there's just a simple nod that you give, or whatever it may be, whether you speak to that person verbally or not, there's just a commonality and a bond that you have with that person, because you can look at their hair. Maybe you look at the length of it and you're like, wow, I can tell that this person's probably been on this journey for several years. Or you look at the texture of their locks and you see that they're no longer starter locks, because you can't see any type of pattern and you can't determine how they started their locks. And so you're like, this person's been on this loc journey for a long time, or their locks are down to their butt or their knees. And so even when they're shorter, there's just this unspoken camaraderie that you have with other people in the lock community. And maybe it's the same way in the natural hair community. You know, when you see someone with a twist out or a braid out, or maybe if you see somebody walking around and they have a bomb wash and go, maybe you say something to them, you say, oh, I love your wash and go, I love your hair. Or maybe you don't even have to say anything, but when you pass each other in the mall or walking down the street, you're on vacation and you just kind of, you know, you got this unspoken thing. Again, drop down in the comments and let me know if I'm the only one, but I'm telling you, when you join the lock community, there's just this special feeling that you have this pride about your own set of locks, and then pride of being a part of a community where you see other people embracing their locks and can find the beauty in other people's locks and other people's journey and the uniqueness of your locks and other people's locks, and how no set of locks is the same, just like no set of natural loose hair is the same. It's a beautiful thing to see. And so as taboo as it may be, it's an awesome thing to be able to walk down the street and see somebody else in a community that you're in, and you can choose to say something to them about it, or you can just choose to nod or keep it moving. But I don't know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. There's a special feeling and a special nonverbal communication that happens when you see somebody with locks and y'all are just like, all right, we're in this together. All right, drop down in the comments section below and also let me know, are there any other reasons that I did not mention that you think are top reasons for why people should start locks? Drop down in the comment box and let me know, because I know that there are other things that maybe I didn't think of that other people will find valuable, of reasons why they should start locks. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found value in it. Take a second to go ahead and hit that like button so I know what type of content you are enjoying. And make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can join the flock. And while you're here, go ahead and check out some of my other videos that have popped up on the screen. I will see you over there.